1955. A Saturday morning in Harlem, and a woman heats a brass-pressing comb over a blue gas flame. Posner's bergamot fills the apartment. Her daughter sits between her knees on a kitchen chair, perfectly still. No salon, no stylist, no product in a box, with a celebrity's face on it. Just a woman, a comb, and knowledge passed from her mother's hands. 25 hair tricks every black woman knew in the 50s. The beauty industry buried every single one. Number 25. The kitchen beautician. A woman who ran a full hair business from her kitchen on Saturday mornings. A radio played gospel in the window. 3 folding chairs sat in the front room. 2 pressing combs heated at once. The price was handwritten on a card taped to the refrigerator. Press and curl, $2. Children, $1.50. The smell of bergamot and Marcel wax filled the air, women talking low while they waited. She was unlicensed and uncertified. She was the most trusted woman on the block. She listened while she pressed and never repeated what she heard. What she offered was not a service. It was a room where black women could sit down and be handled with care. Number 24. Bantu knots for heatless curls. Damp hair twisted tight and coiled into small knots flat against the scalp. Left overnight. Unraveled into spiral curls with no heat and no damage. Each section was twisted, wound into a flat coil, and pinned with a DeLong bobby pin. 10 cents a card, dried under a scarf. Untwisted in the morning, each knot releasing a coil that held 3 days. The natural hair movement claimed Bantu knots around 2012. Black women had been sleeping in them since the 30s. They did not call them a trend. They called them Tuesday night. Number 23. Apple cider vinegar rinse. Heinz apple cider vinegar from the pantry. 15 cents. 1 part vinegar, 2 parts warm water. Poured over the hair after washing and left for 2 minutes. The sharp sting in the nostrils, the squeak of clean hair between the fingers. Clarifying shampoos now cost $12 to $20. Many incorporate acetic acid or apple cider vinegar to balance pH, alongside cleansing surfactants. Number 22. Sugar water setting lotion. 2 tablespoons of domino sugar dissolved in warm water. It was used as a setting lotion for pin curls and finger waves. Free. Hair wrapped while damp held its shape for days. Stiff but not crunchy. A set that survived humidity and a full day on your feet. Setting lotions now run $8 to $15. The active ingredient mimics what sugar does naturally. The kitchen counter had the formula first. Number 21. The stocking cap wave and mold. A nylon stocking, the leg cut off at the thigh, stretched over the head and knotted at the crown. Hanes from Woolworths, 35 cents a pair. Men chasing 360 waves with Murray's pomade and a stocking cap for weeks. Brushing, wrapping, sleeping, unwrapping, brushing again. The durag replaced it, then became a fashion statement, then a political statement, then a runway piece, but it started as a cut-off stocking in a dresser drawer. Function first. 5 items deep, and everyone came from the same place. The kitchen, the dresser drawer, the bathroom shelf. These women did not have a routine. They had a knowledge system passed hand to hand. It was never primitive. It was precise. It worked because the women who built it understood their own hair better than any laboratory ever would. Number 20. Rag curls from fabric strips. Strips of old cotton, torn bed sheets, pieces of a worn-out slip. Each section of damp hair rolled around the strip and tied at the scalp. Untied in the morning, each strip releasing a fat, bouncy ringlet. No heat, no cost. A little girl on the floor between her mother's knees, strips of an old pillowcase beside them. By Sunday morning, she walked into church with curls that looked like they came from a salon that did not exist in her zip code. Number 19. Egg and mayonnaise, deep condition. 1 egg cracked into a bowl. A spoonful of Hellmann's from the icebox, mixed until smooth and worked through section by section. A plastic bag over the head for 30 minutes, rinsed with cool water. Never hot, or the egg will cook in the hair. Fingers pass through afterward without catching once. Protein treatments now cost $20 to $40. The protein in the egg does the same thing. The difference is the label. Number 18. Sulfur 8 Scalp Treatment. The round yellow and red tin, 60 cents. The sulfur smell that hit the moment the lid came off. Hair parted section by section, the conditioner rubbed into the scalp in small circles. The tingle that meant it was working. Flake-free by morning. Modern scalp serums sell for $35 and list sulfur compounds as their breakthrough. Sulfur 8 was on the shelf by the late 40s. Number 17. Beer rinse for body and shine. A bottle of Pabst Blue Ribbon left uncapped overnight, flat by morning, poured over the hair after the final wash and left to dry. The proteins in the barley coating each strand, hair that dried thicker and shinier than any product could manage. This was common knowledge at kitchen tables across the country. It cost nothing because someone in the house was already buying the beer. Beer for body, eggs for protein, vinegar for shine. These women turned the kitchen into a pharmacy, but the most powerful thing on the shelf was simpler than that. Number 16. Flaxseed gel for edges. Whole flax seeds boiled in water until the spoon dragged and the liquid turned to ribbons, strained through an old stocking into a mason jar. Clear as egg white, no flaking, no crunch, smoothed along the edges with a fingertip. Baby hairs laid flat and shining. Brands now sell flaxseed gel for $12 to $18. The recipe never changed. The price did. Number 15. Blue Magic and the Greasing Method. Blue Magic in the cobalt blue jar, 49 cents. Royal Crown in the glass tub with the gold lid. A fingertip's worth rubbed warm between the palms, smooth root to end. The sheen under the sanctuary ceiling on Sunday morning. The natural hair movement declared grease bad around 2010. Then, in 2022, it came back. Young women greasing the scalp the same way their grandmothers did. Nobody gave those grandmothers credit. They did not need it. They needed their granddaughters to sit still. There is a word the industry uses now: transparency. These women never needed a label because they made the product themselves. They knew every ingredient because they bought it at the grocery store. Transparency was not a strategy. It was the default. Number 14. Castor oil for edges and temples. Palma Christi castor oil. Thick as honey. Pale gold. 20 cents at the colored pharmacy. Dipped on the ring finger and rubbed in small circles at the temples where the hair was thinnest. The edges that filled in by Easter without anyone being told to be patient. Jamaican black castor oil is now worth hundreds of millions. Young women film themselves applying it as though they discovered fire. Their great-grandmothers did this by lamplight in 1940. It just worked. Number 13. The doobie wrap. After pressing, the hair was combed clockwise around the head in one continuous motion. Bobby pins were placed every 2 inches. A satin scarf was tied overnight. In the morning, the pins were removed, the hair falling in one smooth sheet. Volume at the root, curl at the end, movement with every step. Dominican salons made the wrap famous in the 90s. Black American women had been wrapping at home decades earlier. They never named it or branded it. They finished their hair and went to bed. Number 12. Black tea rinse for shedding. 4 bags of Lipton tea boiled until very dark in a saucepan. The color was mahogany. It was cooled and poured over the hair. It was not rinsed out. The tannins tightened the hair shaft and reduced shedding. Women noticed their gray softened without a drop of dye. A box of Lipton cost 50 cents. Hair loss products now run $40 a month with the same tannins in synthetic form. Number 11. Hot oil treatment on the kitchen stove. A 1/4 cup of olive oil in a saucepan. The same oil used for cornbread, warmed until comfortable on the wrist, poured into a parted section and rubbed in. A hot towel wrapped around the head for 30 minutes. By the time she shampooed, the hair moved like it remembered what softness was. Salon hot oil treatments now cost $25 to $40. Nothing changed except who charges for it. The stove was the center of everything, but what happened after the press, after the oil, after the heat, keeping the hair right between wash days? That was the real art. Number 10. Thread wrapping. Black sewing thread wound tight around sections of hair from root to tip, stretching the curl without heat. Each section pulled straight and wrapped in a spiral until it looked like a smooth cord, left in for days. When unwound, the hair hung longer, stretched, undamaged. No chemicals, no breakage. This technique predates every product on this list. Women in West Africa were threading hair centuries before the pressing comb existed. The women who brought it here called it what their mothers called it. Number 9. Queen Helene. Cholesterol. Deep conditioner. The tall white jar with the green lid. 89 cents for a full pound. Thick as spackle. Worked through section by section, a plastic bag over the hair for 30 minutes. The slip when she rinsed. Fingers sliding through without catching. Deep conditioning now runs $20 to $60. Queen Helene is still on the shelf, still under $5. Some things do not need reinventing. They need remembering. Nearly every practice on this list requires something the modern hair industry cannot sell. Time. Stillness. Hands. A daughter on the floor between her mother's knees, getting her hair oiled section by section. These rituals were never designed to be efficient. They were designed to be close. The efficiency came later, when closeness stopped being the point. Number 8. Cornrows under a wig for growth. Natural hair braided flat into cornrows and covered with a wig. Left undisturbed for weeks. 3 strands braided tight against the scalp. A wig cap over the braids, then the wig. Nobody knew what was underneath. Underneath, the hair was growing in silence. Protective styling is now a content category worth millions. The principle was built by women who could not afford to damage what they had. Necessity invented the method. Marketing named it 50 years later. Number 7. The satin headscarf night wrap. Every night before bed. Non-negotiable. A satin scarf from Woolworth's, 15 cents a yard. Folded into a triangle, tied at the front. The fabric never pulled against the curl. A press that held 5, 6, 7 days because the pillowcase never touched it. Silk bonnets now sell for $45. The function is identical to a piece of satin from 1961. The knowledge was never lost. It just got it a price tag. Number 6. Dixie Peach Pomade. The flat, round tin with the peach on the label. 35 cents. Dense and golden like warm caramel. The peach-sweet petroleum smell that hung in the air while the comb heated. A fingertip's worth smoothed through freshly pressed hair. The sheen under the sanctuary ceiling on Sunday morning. Dixie Peach was not a luxury. It was a staple the way bread was a staple. Every black child between 1940 and 1975 knew that smell with their eyes closed. You could walk into a strange kitchen in a strange city, and if you smelled Dixie Peach, you knew you were home. Dixie Peach finished the press, but the press itself, the method, the skill, the ritual, that is where the real mastery lived. Number 5. Finger waves with wave clamps. Wet hair molded into S-shaped ridges with 2 fingers and a fine-tooth goody comb. 10 cents. Wave clamps pressed along each ridge to hold the pattern while drying. The whole head sculpted 1 wave at a time. Clamps removed and every wave crisp and sharp. No cord, no plug, just a steady hand and geometric intuition no textbook could teach. Number 4. Pressing oil and the bergamot ritual. Posner's bergamot in the amber glass bottle. 35 cents. The citrus sweet smell that filled the kitchen the moment the cap came off. Rubbed between the palms and smoothed through each section before the comb touched it. The sizzle when iron met oiled hair. Quiet. Controlled. The scent lingering for hours after the last section was done. That smell was not just a product. It was a timestamp. Saturday morning. Kitchen, mother, stove. Every woman who grew up in that kitchen can close her eyes right now and smell it. Number 3. Pin curls set at night. DeLong bobby pins from the 5 and dime. 10 cents a card. Hair dampened with sugar water. Each section wound tight around 2 fingers, coiled flat against the scalp, crossed with 2 pins. The whole head done in 10 minutes with practice. A satin scarf over the top. In the morning, each pin is removed one by one. The clink of metal dropping into the glass dish on the vanity. Curls springing open, full and defined. Lasting days without heat. No cord, no plug. Just a woman's fingers, 10 cents of pins, and the discipline to do it every night. Number 2. The Marcel iron and the paper bag test. A heavy metal curling iron with no cord, laid across the blue gas flame until hot, touched to a scrap of brown paper bag, scorched dark, too hot. Wait, faint gold, ready. The iron clamped around a section and rolled. One slow turn, steam rising from the oil on the strand, a perfect curl falling glossy onto the shoulder. A $300 ceramic wand does what a $4 iron and a paper bag did in 1958. The paper bag was the gauge, the wrist was the timer. No technology was needed because the skill was the technology. Number 1. The Saturday morning hot comb press. The pressing comb, heavy brass with a wooden handle and teeth close together. On the front burner, over a low blue flame. Posner's bergamot warming in the air. A mother testing the heat on a paper towel, looking for the faint gold mark. A daughter on a kitchen chair between her mother's knees. The comb drawn slowly from root to tip. The soft sizzle of oil meeting heat, steam rising like morning fog. The ear folded down with a fingertip as the comb passed the temple. The nape of the neck, the kitchen, they called it, the hardest part, the part that mattered most, one section at a time. And when it was done, the hair swinging free and straight and shining. The relief of it being over and the pride of how it looked. Both feelings at once. Every black woman over 55 remembers the press. The heat near the ear, the hand on the forehead holding the skin taut. The trust required to sit still while fire passed an inch from the skin. It was not just a hairstyle. It was an act of faith between mother and daughter, repeated every Saturday for the better part of a century. The flat iron did not replace it. Nothing replaced it. Because it was never only about the hair, it was about the hands. And whose hands held the comb? and the fact that she never once burned you. And somewhere right now, a daughter is sitting between her grandmother's knees. The comb is heating on the burner, the oil is warming on the back of her neck, and without a single word spoken, everything worth knowing is being passed down again. And if you want more forgotten wisdom from the generations who came before us, the next video is waiting for you right now.